Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and we're going to get into it tonight, dealing with the question, what is a woman? All right, because, dealing with the documentary, all right, what is a woman? You had the guy Mark, I forget his last name, but he's going around the earth, asking what is a woman, mainly in America, but he did go to Africa. But sticking with America, he's asking this question, what is a woman? You can't get a direct answer because Esau Edom, he had changed the game. All right, he done moved the goalpost so much to a woman, all right, in her role, okay, has been, blotted out, pretty much. Esau has created a society, where women have been written out the script, in their traditional role, okay, and have been reduced, okay, to what he says, as a woman, which there's no definition, so it's all over the place, man, okay? But we're going to answer this question according to the Bible, man, because, the Lord set up a beautiful order when he made the dynamic, of a man, and a woman. It's a beautiful order, that the Lord, set up, all right, in the earth, okay? And one thing about this truth is setting everything back all right, okay? As we rehearse the righteous acts, one thing about it is men and women, we're learning, our duties, okay, within the marriage, our duties as men, our priorities as men, our priorities as women. We're learning these things, man. Okay. So, what I want to go into first, let's start at the beginning in Genesis. Now, when you go here to the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 18, and the Lord power said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet." Now, Adam and Eve weren't the only two people in the earth, okay? But Adam, all right, was presented, okay? Eve was presented to Adam, okay? And she was from, his kinsman. You see? But when the Lord said he was going to give Adam a helpmeet, let's go into what that is. All right, let's go into that word help in the Hebrew, which is azar, okay? Azar. And it says to help, to secure. It says one who helps. Now, let's get this word secure. Let's get this in a definition. Let's get this in the Google. Now, you go to the word secure. Now, this is the beginning of the purpose of a woman, okay? This is the beginning of her purpose. Assistant and support in times of hardship and distress, okay? To give assistance or aid to. The woman was built to be a man's assistant, okay? She has a lesser rank than the man, okay? But she was created to be an assistant to whatever profession the man had. The woman would be an assistant, okay? And Adam was given charge, okay, over paradise, man, over the earth at the time, okay? And she was an assistant, an aid to him in doing that, okay? So if let's say your husband was, a blacksmith, okay? Well, the woman will be an assistant according to what that man needed, okay, in his profession. See, a marriage is business first and foremost. That's why the emotions and everything else will come later. Marriage was established off business, and that's why you had nobility. They were marrying to other nobility because those women were trained to be wives of noble men. Okay? You had wives of common men, you had wives of noble men. That's why women, families of nobility, they were married into one another because those families, all right, the men and the women of those families were bred for those noble roles, those noble responsibilities and duties. Like if you remember, if y'all watch, the series Bridgerton, well, when Daphne Bridgerton married the Duke, okay, she was gonna become a what? A duchess. If you marry a prince, you become a princess. Okay? Now the heathens dealt with queens, you'll marry the king, you will be a queen. Okay? But in our culture it was only princes. Okay, princesses. All right, what the women would be. All right? But they was there to be what? An assistant. You married a viscount, you will be a viscountess. Okay? You will be that assistant to whatever your husband's profession was. Okay? There's a lot of men that drive trucks that are owner operators, and their women do their dispatch, or their women, do their BOLs, or their invoices for them while they are out on the road making moves. Like, that's a woman that's tapped into her purpose, being an assistant. Just giving an example, man. Okay? So when he brought forth Eve to Adam, it was to be an assistant first and foremost. Okay? That's the first thing she is, because she the children aren't there yet. Okay? That's another part of it. We're going to get into that. But first and foremost, she's an assistant. Now, let's give you an example. All right, when you get I believe it's 2 Samuel. Okay. Second Samuel 15 and 14. Now this is when David had to leave because Absalom was trying to do a coup, his son. All right, 2 Samuel 15 and 14. And David said unto all his servants that were with him in Jerusalem, arise and let us flee, for we will not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly and bring evil upon us and smite the city with the edge of the sword. All right. And the king's servant said unto the king, behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. So King David didn't want the battle to happen in Jerusalem. So he fled outside Jerusalem so they will fight elsewhere. That way civilians wouldn't get caught up, in this conflict between, King David and his men and Absalom and his men. So he fled the palace. All right, now which is what he did. And the king went forth, and all his household after him, and the king left 10 women which were concubines to keep the house. Okay, he left 10 concubines to keep the house, man, to manage the domestic affairs of their house. Make sure things was being maintained. They had gardens and food rationing for the servants of the palace. Okay, he left those 10 women in charge of those daily affairs. Okay, so first and foremost, a woman was created to be a man's assistant, because a man is built to go deal with the elements. Okay, a man is built to where he can peep game. That's why a father would choose a husband, okay, for the daughter, because the father knew how to peep game. He's out there. He knows how men move. So he would pick, all right, the most stable, all right, righteous man that he could find for his daughter. Okay? You can manipulate the father like you would manipulate, the daughter. Okay? The men were built to deal with the manipulations of the world and the stress and the different things that come with the world. And the woman was made to deal with the tedious, domestic affairs of the household. Okay, a man will go outside the house and make long-term decisions that put the house in a good position for generations. Matter of fact, let's get that. I think that's Proverbs 13 and let's see. Yep, it's Proverbs 13 and 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. And I brought that out to show that a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. See, a man will go out into the earth and make moves and maneuver while the woman is holding the house down, but the man will go and make particular moves, okay, that will set the family up for not only his generation, but the generation after and the generation after that. A man will make long-term decisions. He will make particular deals, okay? Even if you like as a man, the higher in rank you were, the bigger decisions you had to make, okay? And the more wealth you had, the more, women you will have to be an assistant to your empire that you had, man. Jacob had an empire, okay? King David, there was an empire. King Solomon had all those wives, but they was assistants within his empire, and they had assistants, man. That's another thing. Like when you get to a rank, a certain rank, your servants got servants, man. you know. But sticking to the point, men are good at making long-term decisions because they have a mindset to be logical, okay? And women are great at short-term decision making, you know, when it comes to running the house, okay? To the affairs, the day-to-day affairs of a house, man. Okay? So first and foremost, the woman has a spirit of being an assistant, man. And you see women that in that spirit that aid their husbands, if their husband, probably have a business, or their husband might just have a certain job where he's well to do, and she's just able to assist him, make sure he got his coffee in the morning, if he drink coffee, tea in the evening, open the beer. And that's the thing. You telling me that that's slavery, but a woman working 14, 13, 12 hours at a plant, okay, at a computer where she's stressed out with all these different, so many tasks she got to perform in so little time. You tell me that a woman, okay, being an assistant to her husband is slavery or oppression compared to the woman going out in the workforce, man. And that was the trick of the devil. That was the deception of Esau Edom. Okay? Same thing the serpent deceived Eve with, man. Okay? As if her order, her role within Adam's structure was oppressive, man. She was being held back. Okay? So, dealing with that, let's get this as well. Let's get this in Psalms. This is Psalms 113. All right? So, dealing with part 2. Okay? Point number 2. This Psalms 113 and 9. It says, he making the barren woman to keep house. Okay? To be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai. A joyful mother of children. Okay? That's another, okay, duty of a woman, all right, was to bear the children, all right, and rear them up, to be the first teachers. Okay? To be the first teachers of children. You know, that's why women, they catch on, okay? They, like you go to the school, how women kind of catch on, the women, a lot of, in school, girls will have, they will pay more attention in class and they'll get better grades, okay? Especially as, men get older, young Jake get older, because the only thing that really interests you as Jake when you get older is the girls at school and the sports, you know, or both. You see, because men should be learning an actual craft at a certain age, not sit down in no classroom. Now, you had like if you was of a noble family, you would have tutors as a prince coming up. You know, you was of a noble family, you will have tutors, okay, because they will be able to afford tutors, and you will be learning actual history, actual science, and these different things. You will be in the courts with your fathers, observing how he, move. You know, that's how men was reared up. That's why Jake will always be in the principal office and always into some because that ain't our setting, man. We learn hands on. Like men should be learning the craft, you know, of their father, man. And guess what? The woman is there assisting, with that. So now you got the structure where the man has a craft, the woman is assisting him. Now they have, you know, let's say they have two sons and a daughter. Well, those two sons are learning their father's craft, but they're still being nurtured by their woman. Their daughter is learning, okay, how to be a wife. All right, while she's being nurtured by the mother. And the daughter get a certain age, guess what? She starts to be an assistant to the house. Now she can cook, and feed her brothers, her father and her brothers. Man, she can, yeah, it's a beautiful dynamic how the Lord had things set up. It's simple. You see, Esau complicated every goddamn thing, man, and got people all over the place, man. It's a simple construct. The family dynamics is beautiful, and it's a simple construct, man. And that's one of the things that, one of the main things I can't wait to get back to. You know, I know brothers want to fly. The laser beams come out their eye. But one of the things that excites me the most about this ministry is seeing family structure, the understanding of family structure being established amongst our people, man. Okay? A joyful mother, man. You remember how, our grandmothers and, our aunties and great aunties, man, how they used to cook for so many people, man, and like they ain't break a sweat. And it was a joy. You could remember looking up from the table and seeing your grandmother smiling and everyone enjoying, the meal, man. She would be able to feed the the husband would be your grandfather, your father, which is her son, okay, and then the grandchildren, man. There was a joy that they would just be lit up, man. Okay, cause that's in them to be like that, man. Okay, and those men and what that does, that motivates men so much. A woman being in order to where when they go out, they go extra hard to make sure, you know, the resources are there for the house, man, for the woman to do what she needs to do. Okay, it's a beautiful dynamic, man. The serpent ruined that, man. Okay, so that's why when you go here, everybody, wants to go. Everybody wants to be a virtuous woman. Okay, and see that dynamic, husband and wife is a unique dynamic. You know, that's why even when you go here, let's get this real quick, and we'll get that. Let's get that in Sirach 25. This Sirach 25:1. It says, "In three things I was beautiful and stood." It says, "In three things I was beautified." Sirach 25:1. "In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before the Most High men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together." A man and a wife that agree together. Okay? that's a beautiful thing. A woman under the order of a man, a woman that's an assistant to her husband, okay, as he's making moves. A woman that's a nurturer to a house. Okay? That's what a woman is, and the Lord created to where they get joy in that, man. Okay? Matter of fact, I think see if I can find that video. See, the serpent lied, man. See if I can find that video from the brother Shaquat down here. Cause see, when Esau brought that feminist movement, everybody wasn't with it. It was women that didn't mind staying at the house, man. They knew they had it made, man. They knew, okay, they was in a good position, man. Okay, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna play it, cause everybody wasn't with that feminist BS, man. That Esau made it seem like this is how every woman thought. Okay, but see, over time, the enchantment got stronger and stronger because why? Women started teaching their daughters that, and now that doctrine started multiplying in the earth, man. Now you see what it is led. The nigga woman is arguing with the Trans Am now. You see, the woman being reduced so low that she got to argue with a Trans Am. That's an all-time low, you know. So let me play this. Let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear it when I start playing.
But rather another. So it may come as a surprise to you that today I am not going to talk about the Soviet military threat, but rather another threat. A threat to the traditional American family. A threat that is just as dangerous and even more insidious. The threat of the women's liberation movement. Well, let me be clear. I am not against women succeeding. I am not against women working outside the home. That's their choice. But what I am against is a small elitist group of Northeastern establishment liberals putting down homemakers. Now, the livers love to say that they're dedicated to choice. But if you dare to choose the path of full-time mother, well, there must be something wrong with you. I mean, if you don't feel enslaved, well, you're just dumb and unenlightened. In fact, you're not even a person. Because you see, the women's liberation movement is basically a very negative attitude toward life. It tells women, sister, the cards are stacked against you. When you wake up in the morning, you won't get a job. And if you do, it won't be a good one. And if you get a good one, you won't get promoted. And if you get married, your husband will treat you like a servant. And marriage is just a lot of dirty diapers and dirty dishes. But don't take my word for it. Read their own literature. Betty Friedan, mother of the movement, wrote in The Feminine Mystique that marriage is, and I quote, a comfortable concentration camp. But it is not enough that they're demeaning us in the press. Oh, no. Now they want to use our miraculous Constitution to create a sex-neutral society through this so-called Equal Rights Amendment, which will mean that that baby girl will be drafted and the men will be at home nursing the babies. I mean, can you imagine if Buck was left in charge of your children?
Oh, God help us.
Yes, that's right. It's ridiculous, and it's downright un-American. Because women are the primary caregivers in the home because we bear the children. And if the liberationists have a problem with that, they're going to have to take it up with God. Because what is going to happen if you push women out into the workforce is that women are going to find themselves with 2 full-time jobs. And they're going to be exhausted and unhappy and feel like they're not doing either well until eventually they...
Yeah, I just got a message. It says we detected video and your screen belongs to someone else. Your screen may be temporarily blocked. If you plan to continue, god damn. added your channel to the. And they tripping. But the point was made, you know, and the brothers, the brother channel is it's only a few seconds left, but I don't want to get the screen blocked, so I ain't gonna play it. All right. But basically, she's just going into the conditions that women are in today. Because you have some women working 2 jobs now. Okay. Some women catching pure hell. All right. Like it's a true nightmare. Okay. I don't know if they. Yeah. So. Uh. Yeah. Let me post a link. Uh, it's a few. Like I said, there's a few minutes left of it, but yeah, man. Yeah, that was one of the biggest shams. Your brother can put that definition up for sham, was that feminist movement, man. All right. Uh, but yeah, that's the video. You know, if y'all let me know if I'm still on. Until Unc get down. Okay, come. So yeah, you know, let's go here. It's Proverbs 31 and 10. All right. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is above rubies." And the woman in the order is extremely valuable. And that's why Esau, he didn't like when you hear people, even brothers speak about the woman being of a lesser rank. It's not saying that the woman is not valuable, okay? She's just of a lesser rank than the man. And it's for order's sake, okay? It's for things to flow. Someone has to be the head, someone has to be the assistant, man. And everybody wins. The way the Lord made man and woman, all right, husband and wife is a beneficial, all right, it benefits both parties, man. And all right, and the children benefit, and the children benefit, then the nation benefit. Okay, so let's keep going. There's another one. Let me see if I can find it. Should have found it before I start the screen. So likely, I think is. See if I can find. I ain't looked for it in a while. Yeah, I had to bring it out another time. But it just goes into that unique dynamic of a man and a woman. That's why no one from the outside in can really, know the way, you know, of a man and his woman. It's one in Proverbs that say it too, you know, but it's one in Sirach, you know, that really, you know, expounded on it. But I keep going on this Proverbs 31. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil." Yeah, because, you know, a woman, you know, if she's turned on you, she can be deadly, because a woman would know your inner workings. As a man, your wife knows your inner workings and how you move. You know, if a woman betrays you, man, you can, you know, she can ruin the man. Okay, especially if you was, you know, high up. You know, she can ruin him. You see, but the loyalty of a woman is a value thing, man. The virtuous woman, that loyalty, that's a thing of value, man. You know, even if there's disagreements or, you know, falling out, like that loyalty, like that's a powerful thing, man. Okay, and say in verse 12, it says she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay, the best interest of her husband. Okay, which is her best interest. Okay, which is the children's best interest. Okay, it says she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. Okay, the woman having the skill set to turn roots, you know, into tinctures, or roots into, you know, medicines, or adding roots to the food, like, you know, going into the garden and bringing it back in, and putting it within the diet of her household. Like the woman, like, was a nutrition. You know, she was able to put certain things in the diet of her household, man. You know, depending on where they stayed at, you know, cold weather, you know, depending on what the season, you know, she would know how to put different things in the diet. You know, the children the children growing or teething, like they knew certain things, man. Okay, she was like a merchant ship, always bringing something into the house that benefited everyone, man. Okay, and it says, she riseth also while it is while it is yet night, and giving meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. Yeah, and this is because this also go into the elect as well, the elect men. You know how we serve, and, you know, Yahweh Shai. You know how we give, you know, the portions, you know, to the household, the house of David, which is this doctrine, this wisdom. Okay, but a woman that was the mistress of the house, was just a female way of saying master. Okay, she wasn't just snapping her fingers and cracking a whip. Like, nah, she was up on the front line. She would, you know, if her man was well to do, her husband was well to do, he would have servants that she would be over. Okay, when she would be up with him, man, getting things in order. Like when Abigail, when she brought all those victuals to King David, you know, she had to make those things happen, man. You know, she put a play together. You know, you see, and it says she considered a field and buyeth it, with the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. Yeah, so the woman, you know, cause see, after a while, after husband and wife together so long, they can form their chemistry, man, to where she think like he think. That's why I say it's beautiful how a man and woman that agree together. So she know, okay, my husband, this, he will buy this. Okay, it's fruitful. You know, the soil is nice. You know, it's close to a water supply. Like my husband, he will buy this. You know, thinking like, you know, she's thinking like him. You see? Let me see. Uh, keep going. And it says, verse 17 says, she girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. All right. And you read in the NLT, it says, she is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. Like she all about putting out for the house, man. You know? And you say you see women that's in that order, they got a certain aura, a certain peace about them. Of course, sometimes it can get hectic, stressed, you know, especially in this setup. And this setup is like that, man. But in how it's supposed to be, man. Nah, man. It'd be all right. She will have help. Okay, the more substance, okay, that a man will have, he will see. Well, I need to. That's why you will be able to buy, handmaids. Jake gets so caught up. Yeah, you sold your daughter to you. Shut up. Okay. We wasn't staying in the goddamn projects, man. Okay. Malcolm X Boulevard, man. And y'all still the daughters. Shut up, man. God damn. Niggas been in America too long, man. But nah, man, you would be able to sell your daughter and you wouldn't just sell it to anybody, you know? She'll become a handmaid, and eventually if the man of the house wanted to make her his wife, all right, he could do that. Or he could bring in a male servant, and she would be married to the male servant. Like, it was order, man. Everything was done with class, man. It wasn't no barbaric, you know, just wilding out. Nah, man, everything was done with order and class in that structure, man. Okay? Oh boy. All right, this Proverbs 31 and 18 says, she perceiveth that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night. Okay? Which means that she, a lot of times, that woman to be the first one up and the last one to go to sleep to make sure everything was straight, man. Okay? Now, these sorry ass women today, god damn. I would play the other video, but shit. Everybody got Eve copyrighted, but man, when y'all watch that video, y'all gonna see the video after that. You gonna see what I'm talking about if y'all watch that video I sent on the link. All right. So, that's the point. I don't make this super long. Just want to bring out a few points, and go into that dynamic and that structure, man. And we're getting back to that, man. See, wisdom. We close it with this. I brought it out earlier. Okay. Because this is what wisdom is doing. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 1 says, wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. And see, this wisdom going forth is putting things back in order. Is establishing things back in order, man. It's establishing structure. All right, right now we're rehearsing these things, man, but in the kingdom we're going to appreciate the order. Men are going to appreciate, all right, being in order under Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai, and the authority and the power that comes with that. Okay? And women are going to appreciate their order under the man and the privilege and the perks that come with it. Okay? Like, feminism was a bad deal. It was a terrible deal. So, Lord will you, brothers, and you few sisters edified. To the next time I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abab, DTA soon. Shalom.